The Logies 2025 live updates. Ceremony underway for Australian TV's Night of Nights. Winner, Guy Montgomery. Guy Montgomery's Guy Mont Spelling Bee, ABC. Hayley Pinto, Home and Away, 7 Network. Jenny Tion, Taskmaster Australia, Network 10. Kate Miller-Heidke, The Voice, 7 Network. Kyla Day, Territory, Netflix. Sophia Levin, MasterChef Australia, Network 10. I mean, come on, this one was pretty much in the bag. Bluey was the most streamed show in the world this year, so it's hardly surprising that it has brought home yet another Logie Award. It now has 4. In a short and sweet speech by the show's creator Joe Brum, he thanked the ABC, Screen Australia and Screen Queensland for helping bring this legendary show to life. A massive thanks to Meg Washington for allowing us to use her song. And thanks to the entire crew. What a bunch of characters you were, he said while accepting the award. Hamish Blake and Sophie Monk presented the award, but instead of chatting about the wonderful kids shows nominated, they took the opportunity to continue making fun of Blake for being the only man nominated for the gold tonight. Their conclusion? Blake is like fairy break. He's a sometimes food, not an always food. Let's see how that turns out. After all, there are a lot of people who would eat fairy bread for every meal if they could. Winner Muster Dogs, Collies and Kelpies, ABC. Farmer Wants a Wife, 7 Network. Gogglebox Australia, Network 10. Married at First Sight, 9 Network. Shark Tank Australia, Network 10. The Real Housewives of Sydney, Binge/Foxtel. As they say, third time's a charm. Sam Pang is back again to lead the Logies with the same kind of panache, flair, and biting gags he has become known for. He worked his way around the room swiftly, leaving few nominees out. In fact, even those who weren't nominated weren't safe. Take Jimmy Barnes, who just performed Working Class Man. Pang said what everyone was thinking. I can't think of a song that has less of a connection to the people in the room tonight. Thanks for saying it out loud, Sam. His main targets appeared to be the dating reality shows because there's nothing more genuine and romantic than televised, overly produced quests for love. Pang called out Married at First Sight for breaking ethical standards this year, when one of the contestants punched a wall. Yes, that really happened. To make amends for this year, Pang suggested they hire the Mushroom Lady as the caterer next year.
Ouch.
Elsewhere, Karl Stefanovich, who is celebrating his 20th year on the Today Show, was given due congratulations, not for his time on the show, but for the talent of his many co-hosts. Last year's winner Larry Mdur was also lightly roasted for his lack of nominations this year. Frankly, the industry couldn't afford the optics of you being the gold standard 2 years in a row, Pang said. Finally, it was the gold Logie nominees' turn. Pang applauded the mainly female pool for all the things they've achieved since Katy Perry went to space, before shifting to the only male nominee, Hamish Blake. I voted for Hamish, not because I don't support women, just because I want to see him deliver the most awkward acceptance speech ever. Now you know what it feels like to be a diversity hire, Pang said straight to Blake, who took it on the chin with a chuckle. Though not quite as biting as last year, when Pang went in on Network 10 and 7, he held his own for the 3rd time. The crowd seemed pleased, even if Pang himself said he has it on good authority he won't be invited back next year. We hope he is. The Logies red carpet continues to be a delightful car crash of old-school taffeta glamour, attention-seeking ensembles, and local labels. Here are the celebrities that survived relatively unscathed before the ceremony at the Star in Sydney on Sunday. To read fashion editor Damien Woolnow's full analysis, click here. Don't ask me any quick-fire questions, I mess. At those. That was first-time gold Logie nominee Po Ling Yao's one request from me on the red carpet, uttered through laughter as she picked up her dress and walked towards our microphone. The MasterChef judge is up against Network 10's stablemate Julia Morris, 9's Ally Langdon and Hamish Blake, ABC's Lisa Miller, and 7's Sonia Kruger. Of course, the money's on Home and Away's Lynn McGranger to win, with her 33-year tenure as Irene Roberts officially coming to a close later this month. So, how is Yao feeling? I'm feeling all sorts. It's a very confusing feeling. I'm very honored. I'm very happy to be here and see all my friends, Yao says. I feel very honored to be a part of it, and there's such an amazing lineup of gold Logie nominees as well. I'm so happy for anyone who wins. I mean, Julia's been nominated 4 times. Can someone let her win, please? Although Yao may want Morris to win, she does have an acceptance speech prepared should her name be called as the night comes to a close. I'm not going to be ashamed to say that because I don't want to miss out on thanking the right people if, by some freak chance it happens, she laughs. If her dad, whom she brought as her date, has anything to say about it, Yao's win won't be a freak chance at all. It will be the result of his rigorous campaign. And her years of hard work, of course. The Logies can be like a big Australian wedding, where all of the attention is on the bride and no one cares what the groom wears. So far, I've been neglecting the men, but Kyle Schilling, home and away, deserves a shout-out in a white suit, hand-painted by Indigenous artist and designer Paul McCann. The artwork is inspired by the Southern Cross constellation. Gardening Australia host Costa Georgiadis' approach was more homespun but equally on-brand, with a floral crown stretching to his beard and a hand-knitted rooster brooch. Consider it a fresh take on Wurzel Gummidge dressing. Nailing the classic black tie is home and away star James Stewart in a tuxedo from Sydney suit maker Theodore, with a chopard watch and cufflinks. The chopard pieces coordinate with co-star Ada Nicodemus' diamond earrings and emerald ring from the jeweler, providing expensive accents to a burgundy Villani gown.